as they'll take on the right-hander and Bronson Chapple. Get some more information on Mr. Chapple, and I said last night that the Miners will try their best to not allow Bronson Chapple to look like Billy Chapel from the Love of the Game For the Love of the Game movie. But Chappell's done so well, so far so good for himself. Played at Oregon Tech last year in the NAIA. This year, 1-3 in 4 games, 3 starts. A 3.13 ERA in 23 innings. He's allowed 24 hits, 9 runs, 8 earned, 7 walks, and has struck out 19. A whip of 1.35. A right-hander. I believe he's from California. It doesn't say particularly where he is from. Shows on Oregon's website that he's from Herman, Utah. And Harriman, Utah. Says, here's the lineup for your Sussex County Miners looking to turn things around and reset the page. Now everything is tied up in the Atlantic East. And I did mention it yesterday, and sure enough, here we go. Hunter D'Amato is back in the leadoff spot, leading off at second base with Gabriel Maciel batting second and left. Mekhi Backstrom, the first baseman, will be back playing batting third. He's the DH tonight. At third base is Sean Roby Jr. He'll bat fourth as Chappell's first pitch to D'Amato is fouled off. As the rest of the lineup goes like this. Batting fifth is the center fielder Dom Johnson. Batting sixth is the first baseman Abdel Guadalupe tonight. Alex Sayer in right field as that's fouled off, 0-2. Keenan O'Brien, the catcher, bats eighth. And batting ninth, the shortstop once again is Kyle Singer. Curbelo is at second. No Montez? No, Montez not playing today. 0-2, fouled off another one. And this is what D'Amato was good at doing. Seen 4 pitches, he's fouled them all off. Chapple coming set from the Frankenmound. And the pitch. That's in there, strike 3. Good pitch. On the inside corner, according to the zone. 92. Not much that D'Amato was going to be able to do with that. That's a good take, but a good pitch. As it's Blake McKnight tonight at first base. So he'll call the balls and strikes tomorrow, barring anything different. Here's Maciel. First pitch, back to Chapple on a hop. And he'll underhand it to Hilton. And that's the second out. Velez in right, Pelletier the DH, Hilton at first, Curbelo second, Negrete in left, Farmer in center, Merhildo is the third baseman, Marrero the catcher, Sanchez at short for Chapple. And here comes Mekhi Backstrom back to the third spot. And oh yeah, weird. The lines. I don't know if that's what he was talking about, but usually you have lines painted around both boxes and the area where the catcher stays. But right now, there's no painted lines behind and around where the catcher would normally be. Interesting concept there. 0-1. Backstrom, I think that must have been a changeup. And it was a changeup, exactly what it was. On the count, 0-2. Again, you know, he's a guy with his power. You just got to be careful with him. That's a strike, I think. No, it's low. That's what I was looking at last night a lot. There was a lot of pitches that looked like that I thought for sure would have been called strikes, but as I can see here, it was actually quite low. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss over change. Good pitches there from Chapple. And for the first inning, at the very least, Chapple looking like his movie counterpart there. Threw 9 pitches in that first inning. Parsons, to his credit, only threw 11. There's Sean Roby that'll lead it off. I mentioned after Thursday, it's going to be a brand new season, depending on it just all depends on where the Miners are in the standings, whether they're leading, tied, or trailing. That's when it's going to matter. Good at home as they have on the road, from what I could tell. 0-1. Roby takes down and away slider. That's the nice thing about this. 1-1. Ground ball. On a hop waiting for it there is Sanchez, who makes a great throw to first. And bending down low athletically is the big Brandon Hilton to make the play. And if you're anybody who's wondering about any update on Mike Reagan or JC Ariza, nothing that I can disclose at this time about any of that. Still a lot of pending stuff, and the only things that we can do is speculate, which, like I said, that's not anything that we're doing here. Here is Dom Johnson as he takes a pitch. 0-1 Chapel. Steps, now does, pitch. Right side, diving stop, no, gets through for a base hit. And the Miners once again will get their first hit as Dom Johnson has continued his hot hitting. You remember when he was hitting 126 after that hit? First pitch to Guadalupe is a strike. Guadalupe at 270. I didn't realize he had that many RBIs already. Throw back to first, and back in time is Dom. Bronson Chapple. Harriman, Utah. If it's anything like the rest of the Eagles, they're very sinker-slider type. So let's see if I'm right about that. That pitch missed somewhere outside, it did, with the changeup. And let's see if I'm right about that. Throw back to first, not time. Yep, that'd be correct. Yep, sinker-slider. That's a curveball, and obviously we've seen the changeup a little bit. That's Chapel. 1-1, the pitch. Up and in. Mr. Guadalupe gets out of the way. That could also be key pieces. I don't know. 2-1. Ground ball left side. Base hit, Guadalupe. Turns that thing through, and the Miners get two of their first three on. So Sayre, 253. 6 homers, 45. Chapel sets, looks the runner back. Now again, 1-2, throw. Breaking ball, strike, slider. Oh, on the count, here's the pay. Oh, look over at first. That's close. And now we'll see what comes of this. 0-1. A little dancey dance off the second place bag. Sayre swings at another changeup. That's the changeup right there. So he's got a fastball slider change, and he does have a curveball that he'll every once in a while mix in there. 0-2 the count. Now the pitch. Fly to center. Farmer, this should have at least advanced Johnson, I think. He'll make the catch. Farmer is going to throw to second smartly because Guadalupe was tagging at first as well, just to keep him honest, and that'll be 2 away for Keenan O'Brien. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Big cut there from Keenan on the fastball. 91 miles an hour from Chapel. Miners were 5-1 against the Aigles at home. Big swing and a miss again. 5-1 against the Aigles at home, and 1-4 or 1-3 right now here so far against them here at Stade Kirama, which actually is an away venue that they've been okay at. Not when I've been here. Swing and a miss. Got him another 3 fastballs. They're all strikes, according to the zone. Miners leave a couple on in the corners, and we'll take a break. Remind you that the Miners will return home against the Brockton Rocks, and quite frankly, they'll probably be ecstatic to see the Rocks come into town. Remember that because of Reagan coming out in the first inning after 1 inning last night, you have one other guy that can give you innings, and the issue that you run into, unless the Miners are able to fill in somewhere on Sunday or something. This is a long play here. To throw is in there. Brandon Hilton stretched out that play from short. All 6'8" of them. And he was able to keep his foot on the bag with his length there. Chris Widger was going to come out and talk. And he's just like, the heck with it. No. First pitch here now to D'Amato is in there for a strike. And at the very least, the Miners won't make Bronson Chapple look exactly like Billy Chapel. Because Billy Chapel, of course, as you know in the movie, threw a perfect game. Here's the 0-1. Bunt pulled back, and it should be 1-1. Thornton obviously there. The question is he even available to even throw today? You might have to think about him tomorrow instead. But at the same time, you don't know about Reagan. You come up with one less player on your roster because Gartland's on the DL, and he'll be eligible to come back on Saturday. Yeah, he'd be back on Saturday if they were to activate him for that. Ground ball foul, 3-2. Because there's no guys that are going to give you more than an inning or two. Huter and Ariza, I'm not expecting to see either of them available until the weekend. 3-2. Good hit there up the middle, but a atom ball right to Farmer. Pitch that was on the lower half, but D'Amato gave that one a nice poke, but right at the center fielder. Good touch on that swing, and now here comes Gabriel Maciel. Here's the first pitch to Maciel. Fastball at the knees for a strike. Come back out here in the third. It can't get to the bottom of the third and try to get put a 0 up and try to get into a groove, because Miners need it right now. Now, in theory, you could think about going with a bullpen kind of an afternoon if Reagan can't go, where you would have Thornton available tomorrow in case of anything. But I don't think you'd be able to have him tonight. Hard hit, and Hilton able to grab it up. And a 1-2-3 inning for Bronson Chapple. Take a timeout, come back, go to the bottom of the third, 4-0 Aigles. Well, here's Chapel against Mr. Backstrom as he hits one to right. Coming on his valet as he makes the catch on a run. No, it's tied at the top right now, but by winning percentage, the Boulders have a tiebreaker on winning percentage. The Boulders have won 7 in a row. Oh, they're playing down east, right? Who have lost 5 in a row. So if you're the Miners, this is potentially a situation, pitch first, pitch outside, 1-0, that you look at it, you weather that storm out and see where they end up at. And then, then you just go and target your moving. That pitch just a bit outside. And then you, obviously, I want to just keep this as respectful as I can. Over the last few years, that pitch is inside 3-0. That the Boulders in the month of August especially, that's outside ball 4. 4-pitch walk for Huter, and that will turn around to Dom Johnson. Coming back from the pandemic side of things, where they became the New York Boulders. They were, in 2022, they lost to the Titans. So they actually made the playoffs that year in 22. 23, that pitch is on the outer half for a strike, 1-1. Oh, yep, Don Johnson wanted to know where that was, and don't disagree. At 10 games over. Then at the end of the year, fell below, just missing out on the playoffs to the Titans. The last several years, especially the last 2, this is fouled off. Where they were in contention all the way to the end, they probably would have made it if it was the current format this year. They would have made it. Not to my recollection, the last several years. So we'll see. 3-2. That's a strike. And Dom knew it. Actually, it showed that was a little low and away. Part of me thinks that this is a little. I don't know if that zone is fully correct on that. Well, here's Guadalupe with a runner at first. Chapple keeps throwing the first pitch strike. I always say against the Miners, if you can pitch, you have a chance. And for the most part, 0-1. That's a swing and a beautiful hit there up the middle for Guadalupe. Third hit of the game for the Miners since the third hit and the second hit for Guadalupe. That came off at 100, by the way. There's the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 91, and Sayer looks like a bit behind it there. Count 0-1. Now the set, the 0-1. Outside. Count 1-1. Went back to the fastball again. Now, the funny thing about last night is that both teams, the Miners and the Aigles, ended up using the same amount of pitchers. Now, obviously, the Aigles used theirs a little differently than the Miners did, but arms were still used in the same quantity anyway. Back up the middle, but played by Curbelo at second, and he'll go to the bag himself. That hit was at 107, but no dice. No dice for the Miners in the fourth. We'll come to the bottom of the fourth, see if Billy Parsons can add up to that. Phillies look like they acquired Juan Duran, who honestly hasn't had a great season with Minnesota. And change of scenery could change that. Guy who comes out to has the Undertaker bell. Now he's going to go play in Philadelphia. But the Mets have made a couple of really nice moves, I think, as O'Brien swings and misses over the fastball. It'll be, 8-9-1 in this inning for the Miners. Let's see if they can get some things going, but might need to move things over to the other part, and that pitch called a strike. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt that this zone is not where it needs to be calibration-wise. Because these can't all just be... That's been consistently called in that spot. Now it's 0-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And O'Brien now on down to 243, and now with a couple of strikeouts, it's been a month to forget, honestly, for the catcher. This Kyle Singer will now be the batter. Singer good on the defensive side of things. First pitch, swung on, hit to center field, falling fast, hit, Farmer's got it. With the dive, coming on in, 2 down. Singer is not afraid to ambush the first pitch. Has not been afraid, he's aggressive. But Farmer out there in center is about as good as anybody out there. And not a lot of things have gone the Miners' way in this month of July. I believe they're now either 8-14 or 8-15 in the month. I'll have to double check that. That's an interesting thing to play right now. Are they going to be able to get to the part of it? Nope, no, they're not. Ambitious, though. I'll give them that. 1-0 the count here to D'Amato. Here's the pitch. It is down in. 2 down. 8-15. 2-0. Hit well in the air to right center, but not in that part of the park. Actually, it's going to be Farmer who comes in medium depth in right center, and that'll be all. Well, 1-2-3 inning. Game's moving along at a decent pace anyway. Billy Parsons back to work for the bottom of the 5th on the Miners Broadcast Network. As Gabriel Maciel will lead it off. Maciel 388 now. So even the month of July has to get somebody. There's Chapel, first setup here. 1-0 to Maciel. Pitch is outside. That's actually not a terrible picture. 2-0. Off the end of the side left field, going back is Negrete. Still going back as he gets it over the shoulder. Good ride by Maciel, but not enough that time. And now here is Mekhi Backstrom. Oh, first pitch on the outer half. Outside, I should say. Sorry. Pitch. Down and in. 2-0. Apple sets. Pitch. It's inside 3-0. I'm getting the light, but I don't know. 3-0. Nope, taking all the way. Pitch. Got under it. Frustrations there for Mekhi Backstrom as I think the sentiment has felt pretty much up and down the lineup in the locker room in for this calendar month. But the good news is that there's another month. What's going on? Who's this? I don't even know what the mascot is. Popped up. Out of play. Boom. 0-1 the chance. Here's the pitch. Drilled deep to left center field. Going back is Farmer. He looks up at the wall. That ball is gone. Goodbye. 11th home run of the season for Sean Roby Jr. as he hits the changeup 108 out of the park, right to the left of the big scoreboard, 390, and the Miners will not go quietly into the night tonight as the Miners get a run back. Big 11th home run of the year. First pitch to Dom. There's a strike. Now the pitch. Slowly hit ground ball. Digging is Johnson. The throw across is in time. That big body able to stretch out and make the play. Guadalupe will be the batter. First pitch is a strike on the knees there. Now one off the plate. There's Chappell's pitch. Fouled off is 2-2. 2 for 2 is Guadalupe. Here's the 1-2. Leah ground ball. Curbelo low takes it, and then the throw is in time. No, Sayre will give it a chance. Here's the pitch. I don't see anybody up in the Miners' bullpen yet, so it does look like 1-0. Also tells you a lot that when this game was 4-0, or better yet 6-0 after 5, that Thornton did not end up coming in, although I think he may be available tomorrow if needed. Oh, Chapple able to stay with it, and then underhand to Hilton, and that's the second out. Here's the pitch to O'Brien. Is off the plate. Oh, and that ball hits O'Brien. So the Miners will get a base runner with 2 outs. Right now. So What by Drake, which is just the instrumental version of it, of course. But this was the song. First pitch. Breaking ball inside. One out. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Yep, went too far there. One, two. To the left side, and they'll throw across the diamond for the out. Tiring the side there. Let's take a break. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th. I think Billy's going to come out for another inning. We'll come back. Here's Hunter D'Amato, so it'll be the top of the order for the Miners to start things off. And D'Amato hits it right off the glove of Hilton. That's how much of a reach he has. I mentioned about his wingspan and his physical makeup. It feels like to me he's a guy that probably could have played a bunch of different sports, basketball. First pitch on the outer half. 1-1. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. 0-2. Here's the pitch. Fouled off again. There is an arm warming up in the bullpen for the Aigles. Here's the 0-2. Outside. One, two. Little ground ball past Chapple. It'll be a tough play, but Hilton. Oh! And Chapple thought he was a little further to the right than he did. That's going to be a hit. It'll be a single for Maciel. So the first two guys get on. Chapple just, and I saw this happen earlier this year. Chapple just thought he was at the base, and he wasn't. He went to go put his foot down, and he was like, oh, I am nowhere close to the base. So the first two on here. Here's Mackay. First pitch. Hammered. Base hit right field. That might bring a run home, although we'll see. Nope, we're going to stop everybody there. So 3 hits to start this top of the 8th inning. And now Roby has a chance to make this interesting right here. Bases loaded, nobody out. Nowhere to put Roby, and I think John Albaladeo is going to, at the very least, make a conversation, but he may be also going to the bullpen. And it looks like, is it Lefebvre? No, who is that? Good job by Chapple. As he's going to come out. Tip the cap a little bit there. The 4 runs will be, the runners on the bases will be of his responsibility. Maciel, D'Amato, and Backstrom all get hits. And let me tell you something. Roby has a chance to make things interesting here with a swing.